Welcome to the 2009 summer edition of Wolf Tracks. We hope you brought a towel as we jump headfirst into summer aquatic sports. Learn all about a unique Northwest sport, skimboarding. Do you care about the environment? Do you consider yourself eco-friendly? Are you hugging a tree right now? If you missed the 2009 Green Fest in Seattle, don't worry, we've got highlights. And in keeping with our green theme, we've got a special tour of a Port Orchard jewel, Elandan Gardens. Learn all about the art of bonsai and more on the 2009 summer edition of Wolf Tracks. Hello, welcome to the 2009 summer edition of Wolf Tracks, South Kitsap High School's video magazine show. I'm your video host with the most, Ben Blankenship, a new part of the video production program. But enough about me, we got a lot to cover. Our first story is produced by Joey Cole and follows the boys of summer. Get ready to ride the northern wave as we find out all about skimboarding.
Skimboarding is a rising sport between young kids and adults. This now called sport started out as a hobby or an activity, but over the years, skimboarding has finally made its mark in the action sports category.
Give me your eyes, I need sunshine. Give me your eyes, I need sunshine. Your blood, your bones, your voice, and your ghost. We've both been very brave, walk around with bold lights. Fight for the scary day, we both pull the tricks out of our sleeves, but I believe in anything, in anything.
Skimming, bro. Chambers. Sun shining. Living life. Good times. Yeah. Like, give me some more questions. Like, throwing 3 shows. That feels good. Landing them feels better. Oleons, logs, trees, water, tide, 1 foot, whatnot.
I'd have to say my favorite thing about skimboarding is just skimming down at the beach, the location, and just everything about it's cool. I don't know.
Overall, skimboarding is an amazing sport, and with its rising popularity, I'm sure it will soon have its place in the X Games. If you have any questions about skimboarding or any good skimboard spots in Washington, then just ask a local rider.
Moving right along with our aquatic sports theme, we're headed out to the lake for a few rays and a close-up look at the joy of inner tubing. Greg Pickard has the details.
Water sport lovers may be split between wakeboarding and water skiing, but this is something that everyone loves, and that's inner tubing. It's for all ages and all skill levels, only requiring a strong grip. But what brings people to lakes everywhere to fly barely a foot above the water behind a speeding boat?
Scary but fun at the same time, and it's all exciting overall.
Once you finally get on the tube, some people will test their skills, or sometimes luck, by switching tubes, raising up on their knees, and putting their hands in the air. However, this usually leads to the driver trying even harder to flip their riders. Yet trying to stay on the tube longer than the other riders with you is part of the fun.
I like it because it's fun to watch other people fall off, and when you drive around with the boat again, you can laugh at them, but it sucks when you're the one who's in the water, because then you get laughed at. I can't feel my legs.
With all the bumps, twists, turns, waves, figure eights, and donuts, someone was bound to fall off. Sure enough, Minnie did. However, as we came back around and picked them up, they all had smiles on their faces and were ready to get back on the tube. No matter what kind of inner tuber you are, your fate is ultimately in the hands of the driver. They take into account many things in order to create the perfect ride for a particular rider.
What makes up for a good drive for the rider is really knowing the skill level, how much the rider has gone before. You kind of talk to them a little bit, see what they want to do. The beginning rider wants to go usually kind of straight, a little bit of curves and not much into it, but as they get more experience, then you start serpentining a little bit, moving around, looking for a little bit of wake for them to hit, those kinds of things. And the more advanced person that's done it quite a bit, that likes a little bit more of a thrill, then you start getting a little bit crazy. You do some figure eights, you do some donuts, you create your own wake, and then you hit those big waves just right. You also watch to get the rider how far out of the wake to the side of the boat. A lot of things, but knowing what the rider wants to do, and then also just kind of pushing the limit a little bit, because a lot of times they'll say, I want to do this, but you take them a little bit further and they really enjoy the ride.
Inner tubing is all about having fun and a great way to spend a hot summer day. Visiting a lake and you will probably see tubers everywhere.
That looks like a lot of fun. It's now the ladies' turn to share some summer recreation fun. Get ready for a tour of South Kitsap's All-Star Parks with Wolf Tracks producer Jenny Royer. Caution, this story may make you dizzy, but it's a lot of fun.
I love parks! That's poop! That's poop!
As we near the end of the year, most of us start looking back at the days of our childhood.
I'm 18. I'm about to graduate.
The sprinklers, the ice cream cones, but mostly the parks.
We will be going around to all the different parks in Port Orchard, rating them, dissecting their every element of fun.
You know, most of the time I prefer preferably some pebbles instead of beauty bar. I love parks. Do a public service for all these children. Park it!
Boosh. And I have to drive.
We started with the well-known Jackson Park.
2 normal swings, 2 baby swings.
They have a swinging item that no longer has a handle. There's a lot of really cool fields and like trails and stuff, but that's probably the best part. There's nothing to really give me that happy I'm playing feeling.
6.
Give it a 3, like a 4.5.
I would give it a 4.
We then moved on to the growingly popular Spinney Park downtown. This park has a wide variety of toys that are fun for everyone. It's easy to find a favorite.
My favorite toy is that wheel one where you need 2 people to go on it because of the physics. Lots of physics.
My favorite one, as much as I hate to get off of it, is the red cup.
The best toy is probably the springy toy. My favorite is the one where you sit and spin yourself.
I would give this park about an 8.
Overall, best park we've seen today, a 9.5.
The throwing up factor, the fact that every time you go on those toys you feel like you're going to throw up. I would rate this park a 9.
Finally, we ended at an older park that isn't as well known as the others. Dwight Park, located on Dwight Street downtown.
This park is just really fun for me.
Swings, and they're really high, so you can get a lot of altitude.
Dwight Park has all your essentials.
It's really good for lava monsters.
It's amazing. I'm speechless.
A 12 out of 10, definitely.
A 10?
I like it. I'd give it an 8. 9.75.
Port Orchard is filled with great places to be a kid again, and for most of us, it brings back a lot of memories. Who knows? Maybe the next time you're here, you'll be making memories for your kids.
Here on Wolf Tracks, we're all about bringing our viewers a touch of the sophisticated. This next story is a breath of fresh pine air from Gorst. I love Gorst. Join our own man of art and adventure, Scott Bojinkin, on a tour of Elandan Gardens. Check it out.
You always drive by Elandan Gardens on Highway 16, but have you ever gone in? Elandan Gardens, a world-renowned bonsai and rock sculpture garden, is run by the Robinson family. The site is a former landfill from the 1930s. With a lot of bulldozing and landscaping, the family has been constantly maintaining it since 1993. The main attraction at Elandan is the elaborate work of Dan Robinson.
Bonsai, first off, is the proper way of saying it. Bonsai is a war cry. Bonsai, as it's said, is the primary focus of the garden out there, which is simply said, it means a tree in a pot. Okay, so a contained tree in some way. Now, originally, bonsai that is a Japanese word, but the Chinese actually started in bonsai thousands of years before the Japanese. However, the Japanese have become famous for it to some degree and best known for taking the art form to its current state, in which it's more of a worldwide endeavor for people who are into that kind of thing.
Will, Dan's son, is a famous rock sculptor. Much of his work is on display throughout the state and beyond. However, he didn't start with much.
I do some other things, metal and glass and things too, but when I first started, I had nothing. I mean, I had to try and move everything by hand and planks and crowbars, you know, and then eventually I was able to be able to afford bigger and better toys and tools.
Much of his work is sold to cities and individuals, but some of it is displayed throughout the site. The business has several areas. First, there's the sculpture garden, which can be rented out for weddings and other social events. The shop, which is a cleverly disguised greenhouse, sells all kinds of arts and crafts. Then, there's the main attraction, the bonsai garden. It has a wide variety of features, including dozens of bonsai trees, rock sculptures, and a pond. Although it may be more majestic when the tide is in, the garden creates a dramatic, natural northwest feel. Surprisingly, the business is not especially profitable, but the Robinsons' passion for natural artwork is certain to keep their dream alive for years to come. So the next time you're in Gorst, be sure to stop by Elandan Gardens and explore this hidden world.
Our next story is all about the big hearts of students and staff at South Kitsap in their efforts to make the world a better place, even if it's thousands of miles away. Brooke Granato covers SK's Nothing But Nets campaign, a fundraiser to prevent the spread of malaria among the less fortunate of Africa.
These three things are all in common, but how? South Kitsap has gotten engaged in a nationwide campaign called Nothing But Nets. This campaign sends insecticide-treated bed nets to families in poor areas. These nets can protect a family up to 4 years. We do this to try and prevent malaria. Many people have heard of malaria, but are not completely informed about it.
It is a disease that a lot of people suffer from in Africa.
I don't know anything about malaria. It's not very well covered.
Malaria, I believe to be a very infectious disease caused by mosquitoes from the southernmost part of Asia.
Malaria is a blood disease caused by a parasite that is transmitted by mosquitoes to humans. The parasite changes the adhesive properties of the cell it inhabits, which eventually causes a shutdown of the immune system. Many students are getting involved to help. South Kitsap students and teachers are trying to provide 300 bed nets to send to Africa this year.
But also I think that students these days are given far too few opportunities to change the world. I think that they're ready, they're willing, they're able. Anyone who mumbles and grumbles about kids these days or teenagers these days just doesn't know our students and doesn't know what they're capable of, how much passion they have for their fellow mankind, and again, just how much immense power they have to change the world. So giving them the opportunity, I consider my role to be the easy part, and that was just to sort of set the table for people to make positive change. The show of
And then I just think that the issue is just so important and people tend to forget about it, so I really just thought it was a great thing that I really wanted to be a part of.
And I just figured $10 to help save a life for a kid that may not even see his 5th birthday. I mean, why not donate? Why not try and help? I mean, money can come easily for us, but maybe down there it doesn't. And so if I could like save some kids, then why not? I mean,
the show of support has been beyond description. 180 nets last year, leading to something I'm very proud of, this letter from the United Nations. We doubled that this year. With a goal of 300, we had between 350 and 400 nets that will go to Zambia.
If you're interested in helping, these nets cost only $10 with no tax, and nets are decreasing malaria infections by 60%. You can go to www.nothingbutnets.net to learn more information or to purchase a net.
Sounds like a good cause. Welcome back to Wolf Tracks if you just joined us. We're rolling right along here. Our next story, you may want to turn up the volume for. Get ready to sing along with Mike Allen and his SK Highlighters as they discovered the next Port Orchard superstar.
This past March, South Kitsap was host to the 2009 Port Orchard Superstar. The Port Orchard Superstar is a music competition put on by our very own Mike Allen and the SK Highlighters. The Highlighters travel to all the elementary schools in our area looking for the most talented singers in grades K through 6. The chosen students then go to the final, held here at the SK stage.
And then in the end she said, "You are what I'm fighting for." It was the first of the letters from war.
This isn't real, this isn't me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. Gonna let the light shine on me.
Although I can't imagine how, I hope you're happy right now.
A huge audience comes out to support these up-and-coming stars, and nerves are running high for the contestants before the big event.
It's an incredibly hard thing, and you know this if you're sitting out there, that it's a hard thing to get up in front of this many people with all the lights and the big stage, and it's a scary thing, and these kids are super brave to even get up here, but to get up here and do the kind of work they're doing, they all deserve our appreciation and our applause. Let's go.
Well, I'm kind of scared. At the same time, I'm really surprised because last year I did it and I didn't make it, so I'm pretty happy.
The night begins with a performance by the SK Highlighters before the contestants finally take to the big stage. This year featured a wide variety of performances with songs from popular pop, country, and rock sources.
Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons?
He says, our song is a slam the screen door, sneaking alley, tapping on your window. When we're on the phone and you talk real slow, 'cause it's late and his mama don't know our song.
In the end, a panel of judges voted, and 6th grader Krista Knickerbocker from Burley Glenwood Elementary was crowned the winner.
And our 2009 Port Orchard Superstar winner is Krista Knickerbocker.
I couldn't really see the people, so that was good. But yeah, I felt really good.
Everyone involved gave terrific performances, and these kids should all be really proud of themselves. If you missed the event this time around, make sure to come out next year and see these stars in the making.
It would be so nice.
The SK Maroon and White is increasingly going green. Our own Keaton Kovac does a little environmental reporting as he covers Seattle's own Greenfest. Take a look.
Because of last year's success and the growing interest in going green, the Green Festival was held for the second year at the Seattle Convention Center. Me and my friend Cody Morgan decided to come back for the second year and see any improvements or changes.
I'm looking forward to some economic change and technology that'll help us in these hard times.
At the Green Festival, there are many environment-friendly businesses sharing their product or how their company helps the environment.
Taste, Cody.
Superb.
We're here for cell phone recycling. To let people know that you can recycle your old cell phone.
It's exciting for us to educate people about reusable materials and options in their lifestyle. They can purchase products made out of recycled materials instead of buying something made out of virgin materials.
Cody.
It's so comfy. It's the most comfy sport I've ever
done. Jump, Cody.
Other than just booths for these businesses, there are also different food stands, speeches of people who are involved, and live music.
Your fists are so you can spread love to everything that you grip. Keep it hard as a rock, touch the sky like a hawk, come like a drunk.
Dude, these are some organic chips.
How do they taste?
Like grass.
While the Green Festival can be a fun outing, there's also hope for visitors to take something from it.
I think the Green Festival is a great event for not only Seattle, but all the other cities that they're in. It gives consumers a chance to see new products and new innovations that are greening their life. Not only food and drink, but clothing, bedding, the way that they build their house, to the way that they get to work. So it's a really good festival for everyone to learn how to green their life.
Knowing the impact we can make, hopefully people can take and apply these things to their daily lives.
I'm going to get this tree and I'm going to plant it in front of the high school, I think. Right next to the sign, right in front of the sign, to show that South Kitsap is not about identity, it's about being green, That's what it's all about.
This next story may make you think twice about supersizing that next burger and fries. Our very own food critic, Cole Nelson, is out on the street. So grab a piece of celery and enjoy his expose on the dangers of fast food.
Fast food, one of today's most dangerous pastimes. Did you know that according to the American Obesity Association, 127 million adults are overweight? That may sound shocking, but don't take it from me. Let's hear what a health professional has to say.
My name is Carol Nelson, and I am a cook and a teacher, and I teach nutrition to fourth graders, and I've always been interested in nutrition. And fast food is a problem. It's probably one of the bigger problems of our society because you can get just about any kind of fast food that you ever wanted, and it's high in fat and high in saturated salts and sugars, and it's causing obesity in everybody, including our children.
As an experiment, my friends went out and bought some fast food to try and meter how unhealthy it may be.
You just take it. Get already.
Oh, it's a 5-ounce Whopper.
You should get.
And look at me. Fast food seems bad, and it is. That's why a couple of organizations have decided to battle it. One of which being the YMCA, offering cheap fitness options for many years. On the other hand, the NAAFA isn't helping the uphill battle. Now let's hear what some consumers have to say.
I think in the last 4 months I've gained probably 20 pounds because I eat Burger King every day. It's a lot of fun, it's good interaction, there's lots of new people, you're always learning new things.
My favorite fast food would have to be probably Taco Bell, just because they serve really cheap and I'm not very wealthy.
What needs to be done is there needs to be some sort of regulation of the amount of fats that are in the foods and the size portions also. This whole king size it is a bad choice.
So basically, in the end, eat fast food at your own risk. It's not the end of the world, but know your limits. You've been warned.
Hello again, and thanks for watching Wolf Tracks. We're working hard over the summer to keep you up to speed on all things South Kitsap High School. Also working hard are the good folks down in the SK Theater Department. Notice the extremely well done lighting job on this next story, all about SK Stagecraft.
What do you do at 6 in the morning? Most people prefer to be sleeping at this time. But what you may not know is that every morning there's a small group of people that is up, awake, and busy working away. You've most likely seen their work. Maybe you've seen it but just didn't realize it. Did you see Julius Caesar? Now, ignore those people for a second. You see that background? Maybe you've seen Alice in Disco Land. Again, ignore those talents. Do you see that floor? While this may sound like it's not exactly the best way you'd want to spend your morning, these students are actually the ones that make many events possible that without the works of this class you would otherwise miss. And this is Stagecraft.
Oh, I love Stagecraft. I have a very good time teaching a class at 6 in the morning. We do have a problem recruiting people because it is at 6 in the morning, but you do get a lot out of it because then you can come see the show when it opens and you know that you've had a part in building the set.
Stagecraft is a 0-hour class. That means every morning where students who are taking the class work on the more technical backstage area of the SK Theater, as well as building the sets for many of the school plays. Many students who are in the class work for the Stagecraft outside of class hours, often during evenings or on weekends to provide management roles for many of the events held in the theater. Time is also spent outside of the class to build sets, many times taking weeks to complete.
Oh, everything. Stack wood, paint, fly things, clean up people's garbage. That's disgusting, by the way.
Well, I do a lot of things. Mainly, I help build the sets with like the actual construction. Sometimes I'll help other people like Robert Lucy up in the catwalks.
Stagecraft, in all seriousness, Stagecraft is really it's a good class. We do get a lot of stuff done. You know, the theater is, it's self-contained. We do all of our own cleanup. We build all of our own sets. If anybody's interested in building or any type of construction or learning about it, this is a really safe way to do it.
So while you're lying there sleeping away at 6 a.m., remember, at this time in the morning, there are students helping make a difference in the SKHS Theater.
Well, that's going to do it for our show today. We hope you enjoyed this summer edition of Wolf Tracks, and keep tuned during the 2009-2010 school year for more great video adventures. A shout out to all our student producers, and most of all, to you, our viewers. For Matthew Swaggart, Technical Advisor, and Instructor Mike Downham, I'm Ben Blankenship. Thanks for watching. See you next time.